Mac, you think things will be different for us at school?
Well, we were in school all last year together.
Yeah, and we never met. That's my point. We've only known each other in the summer.
Brady, it's us. We'll be fine.
Yeah, totally. Totally not. Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D-Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you and welcome to our listeners. Today, we're talking about Teen Beach 2.
Woo! What a fun time.
Back at the beach, baby.
Back at the beach.
I mean, I'm ready to surf on into the business if you are.
Whoa, Val's getting ready. No check-ins. I mean, no how are yous.
Oh, well.
No, Val said, F you, Al.
Okay, in fairness to me, okay, I literally got a text right before we started recording for Val that said, can we just get right to it? Because I'm tired. And I said, absolutely, we can do that. And now I'm trying to get right to it.
And Val's she doesn't even ask.
Case.
She doesn't even ask me how I am. While we're recording, at least.
Okay, wow. Al.
Yeah.
It's Easter today. Happy Easter.
Today is Easter.
He has risen.
Happy Passover, Val.
Thank you. It is officially over. Passover is over.
It has passed.
It has passed over, thankfully. How
you can eat bread again.
That's right. Spoiler alert, I ate bread the whole time.
Oh, but and we love you for it.
Yeah, but I do enjoy a good Seder. I do enjoy a macaroon. They are yummy. Good. But how was your Easter?
Good. I played 6 holes of golf today. Very cold, very wet. We had to stop. And I saw my babcha, so that's a good day.
Oh, babcha's
But I'm exhausted. That's why I texted you that, Val, because I was like, I'm ready to do this so that I can surf right into my bathtub after this.
Right. We got to get you into the
And that's a vision for everyone who's hearing this. I go fully clothed in my bathtub.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's something Val knows about me.
Yeah, we go topless into Spoiler City, but then Al puts her top back on and gets into the top. I don't want to put my bare butt where my feet go. I gotta put clothes on for that. Oh, it's such funny logic. I love that.
Thank you. I did tell Val how I need to clean my bathtub before I bath because that freaks me out. So that's my logic. Fair. All right, Val, let's serve to the business.
Wait, you're not going to ask me how my day was?
Yeah, you said you passed over.
What do you mean? No.
How was your day, Val?
It was my daughter's first Easter. Thank you for asking.
Oh, it was?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, she's a liar too.
But it was the first Easter where we did anything. Because the first time she was a potato. So this time, we actually were able to
her first conscious Easter.
Yes, yeah. And we still didn't do everything. We'll wait to do an Easter egg hunt and stuff like that until probably next year. But she got some, she got a basket with presents and
wow, from the Easter Bunny came to your house.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny came and she loved it. And she also had her first bit of a Reese's Easter egg.
Yay, nay.
She loved it. Scarfed.
Great.
I have a video. Wow. I'll show it to you later, Al.
Amazing.
Loved it.
No one will ever see that video who's listening to this except for me. So
true, because we don't put our kiddo on the internet.
Yeah. I'm the only kiddo in this family on the internet.
That's right. Big Al goes on the internet.
Big Al on the internet.
Speaking of which, we're at D-Commentaries on Instagram. If you'd like to follow us.
Oh my God, we're delirious.
All right.
Okay, go, Val. What's the business? Val just put on her blazer and picked up her briefcase.
That's right, I did.
It's time for the business.
That's right. Okay, Teen Beach 2 came out June 27th, 2015. So the last movie came out in February of 2015. So we're a little less than 6 months later. It was directed by Jeffrey Hornaday, who also directed Geek Charming, the first Teen Beach, but does not have any credits past this one. Like, he doesn't have any credits past 2015. Yeah. Interesting indeed. The writing team is going to be familiar. We have 3 writers. The first 2 are the Eddy brothers again. They wrote Zapped and Bad Hair Day, which were like the 2 previous movies to this one. So they're on a roll. And then Dan Berenson, who is like a rock star of the DCOM universe.
Yeah.
Just as a quick refresher. Dan Berenson wrote Up, Up, and Away, Scream Team, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Stuck in the Suburbs, Halloween Town High, Twitches 2, the Hannah Montana movie, the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, Cheetah Girls One World, Camp Rock 2, and a bunch of episodes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Wow.
Yep. A lot.
Does he have more coming up after this?
I don't know, because I always like miss the ones.
Don't know the movies.
Because I don't know their DCOMs. Yeah. So it's very possible that there are more, but he's already been writing for like basically 10 years of the
82 years.
Yeah.
Or what is it? 84 years.
Something like that. I can't remember exactly. The cast is as follows. Ross Lynch reprised his role as Brady.
Yay.
Yes. Aside from being in Teen Beach 1, he was in Austin and Ally, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and lots of music videos, because as is evidenced in this and the previous Teen Beach, he is a singer. Maya Mitchell reprised her role as Mackenzie, or Mac. She was obviously in Teen Beach 1 as well, but those are her only 2 DCOMs, or I think Disney properties at all. She was in Mortified, Trapped, The Fosters, and Good Trouble, among other things.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting she was in Good Trouble.
Yeah. Grace Phipps Gillum played Layla once again. Aside from the Teen Beach movies, the only recognizable show I saw that she was in was Z Nation, which I believe is like in the World War Z like zombie universe.
Oh, okay. My God, Maya Mitchell has 9 million followers on Instagram.
Wowee.
Wowie zowie.
Garrett Clayton reprised his role, thank goodness, as Tanner.
I'm obsessed with this man.
Oh my God. He was good in the first one, but he made this movie, for me at least. I loved him so much in this movie. He's a character actor. He's been in lots of stuff, but nothing where he's been in like a number of episodes of anything.
Yeah.
Basically same thing with John DeLuca, who plays Butchie, the older brother of Layla. He is just a character actor. He's been in like 1 episode of everything. Chrissy Fitt reprised her role as Chi-Chi. Aside from being in Teen Beach 1, she was in General Hospital, Pitch Perfects 2 and 3, and she is a pretty prolific voice and character actor.
I forgot she was in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Now we've got a few new people. Piper Curda played Alyssa, who is Mac's best friend. She was in a show called Rule the Mix. She was on Ant Farm, Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja, I Didn't Do It, Legacies, and most recently she was in a few episodes of Matlock. So cool. I don't know if she's a lead on Matlock, but she's been in like 4 episodes or something like that.
Nice. Do you remember that one movie? I think we watched Let It Shine. Maybe it was Let It Shine. There was a guy, maybe it wasn't Let It Shine. There was a guy who you were like, he's on Matlock, but only 1 episode.
Oh, yeah. But then it turned out he was the lead. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like in it. He's like the show.
Yeah. I think you caught that like when we were talking about it. Because you were like, you looked it up when we were in the recording.
Yeah.
I liked her. She didn't get a ton to do until towards the end, but I liked her.
Yeah.
Beth Lack played Brady's mom. Never named. Just Brady's mom. She's a character actor. Some notables, Happy Hour, Work It, Frequency, High School Musical, the series, and Chicago Med.
Wow. Good for her. Welcome to the city.
Jordan Fisher reprised his role as Seacat. He is a voice actor. He was on Archibald's Next Big Thing, High School Musical, the series, Turning Red, and The Flash. And he is also like a big Disney World dude. He recently did a social media thing with our favorite pianist from the parks, Grayson, who Alice is obsessed with. And what we saw him at the parks, and she was like, she couldn't like understand how
he was like
seeing
real?
him real in person after seeing him on the TV. It was so cute and funny, and he was so sweet. But anyway, they did like a duet thing where Jordan sang and he played piano. He's very talented. Everyone, if you go to Disney World, go in Magic Kingdom, kind of like right after the end of like the main street, go like left, and there's a like kind of sneaky hidden piano, and he might just be there playing.
Yeah, by Casey's Corner.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Raymond Cham Jr. played Devin, who is Brady's best friend. And he's done a lot of like dancing stuff which a lot of the cast are like almost exclusively dancers, which is why they're not like named here because they only have dance credits, but he has done some acting stuff too. So he was in Mech X4, 5 Points, The Big Leap, and Sort of, among some other stuff.
And he was in The Idea of You.
I don't know what that is.
Which is the Anne Hathaway, Nicholas Galitzine rom-com where she falls in love with a boy band member.
Oh.
And I think that he was in the boy band.
Oh, that would make sense. I forgot about that movie. I never saw it, but it has been on my list. I'm curious.
Okay.
And finally, Ross Butler played Spencer, who is the hot guy who Alyssa likes, but who Brady thinks Mac likes. He is in a lot of stuff. He was in Casey Undercover, both Shazams, 13 Reasons Why, To All the Boys, 2 and 3 of that series, Raya the Last Dragon, and Riverdale, among some other stuff.
I am a huge Ross Butler fan. I love him. I follow him on Instagram on my personal account.
Whoa.
Big Ross Butler fan.
Nice. I didn't know him before this, but he was good.
Yeah, he's the best.
Nice. Okay. The synopsis is as follows. Months after surfer sweethearts McKenzie and Brady return from a summer adventure that transported them into Brady's favorite 1960s beach party movie, Wet Side Story, they receive a surprise visit from their newfound surfer and biker buddies. Okay. That's not terrible. It kind of misses some of the points, but and it's also not months after because it's
like 5 days.
Right. It's literally like days later.
The next week.
And then the only fun fact is that Ross Lynch's band R5 wrote a song for the movie. Now, I don't know which song it was. We might be able to figure it out, but
R5 is I think it's a family band. Like, I think it's him and his brothers.
Oh, cool.
Riker Lynch, Rocky Lynch, Rydell Lynch, Ross Lynch, and Ellington Ratliff. So
who the heck is Ellington Ratliff?
I don't know. So it's like all of the siblings and then a random person.
That's so funny. Hey, Al.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your first impressions.
Thanks, Val. I liked this movie, but it's not better than the first one.
Fair.
I thought that the music was catchier in the first one. I thought the plot was a little bit more fun in the first one. I didn't love, and this is kind of like Spoiler City, the jealousy plot throughout, which is the entire, the whole point of the movie and kind of the point of the first one as well. But this one was just like enhanced and I was kind of just over it. I'm going to give this a 7 because I would still watch it again. And I don't think it's a bad movie. I just liked the other one better.
Fair.
Val, what are your first impressions?
Thanks, Al. So the first movie, I remember at the very beginning, I was like, oh no, this is so dramatic and I hate it. And then it became very apparent to me that it was like a very meta movie. And from that point forward, I really, really enjoyed it because I was able to see it through that lens. I think this movie is still accomplishing that, but I think that they kind of, to your point, like shoehorned in this, like the plot, the main central plot is that Brady and Mac are so different and they are kind of being driven apart once they go back to school because they're not like on summer vacation anymore. But they try to make it more complicated than it needs to be. And they like kind of force a couple things, and one of which especially doesn't make any sense to me, which is, I don't think this is spoiling anything. Brady like loves to build surfboards, and for some reason he has never mentioned this to Mac, and he's like afraid that she'll like look down on him for it, which is like the most nonsensical justification for not telling your girlfriend all summer that you build surfboards, even though you literally bond over surfing every single day. So like that whole thing like felt very weird to me. Now, the one thing that I really enjoyed was that it gave especially Layla and Tanner way more to do. And I very, very much enjoyed that because they're like my two favorite characters in both movies. But I love them so much more in this movie. Tanner especially is just so funny. Like the guy, I forget his name already. The guy who plays him, what's his name? Garrett Clayton. Garrett Clayton, like, I don't know where you are now, Garrett Clayton, but man, you
I think
crushed.
He dances on Instagram, right?
I don't know, but you crushed this part. Like his comedic timing was impeccable. The little like giggle that he would do after like everything he said, like, man, it was just, he understood the assignment like so well in this movie. And I really, really enjoyed watching that. But I really also appreciated, and I appreciated this in the first movie too, the choreography during the music numbers is the attention to detail, like in the costumes, in the set pieces, in the props, in the choreography itself is so great. Like it's just so like you can tell whoever did it was so like into this entire premise and was just having so much fun. And obviously the people in it are also having so much fun doing it. Right. And that just makes it really enjoyable to watch. And you're kind of like looking for little Easter eggs in like every single musical number, which is really fun. So yeah, I overall very much enjoyed, with a few little, qualms with some stuff here and there. And then I will say that I personally was I won't say I hated the ending, but I was very saddened.
I was waiting to bring it up.
I was very saddened by the ending, which we will talk about more at the end of Spoiler City. Yeah. So, Al.
Yeah.
What about favorite quotes and moments? Any of those?
Thanks, Val. I do have to say, I think all of my quotes and moments are Tanner.
Yep.
I don't think I wrote down a single other quote or moment. So these are just Tanner's lines because he's the funniest one throughout. Oh, okay. Just kidding. One line is Ross Lynch. Okay. So this is actually a line from Ross Lynch. And so she brought him, Mac made bracelets for the Save the Beach dance. And she's like, I got you like 8. He goes, thanks. I'm going to need a bigger wrist. That was funny.
Yeah.
Then we have all of Tanner's lines. It's not you, Tanner. You're great. I know I am. Then Tanner's looking at a cell phone. He goes, whoa, how'd I get in there? Hi, small me. Looking good.
So
he said, nuggets made out of chicken. Amazing. It's called confidence, and it's spelled K-O-N fidence. And then this is also not a Tanner line, so I guess I lied that all my lines are not Tanner. But the Chi-Chi says, "You're lucky my hair didn't broke." And then the best moment in the entire movie, hands down, peak moment, is when Tanner is sliding down the fireman's pole.
Oh my God, that's my favorite moment too. It's so good. It's a masterpiece in comedy.
Absolutely. And they didn't cut it too short.
No.
Ross Lynch was patient.
Yeah.
Like, it was an absolutely perfect scene.
And it's also, so just to give some context, Tanner, so Ross has like this cool, like lifted,
treehouse?
Yeah, like kind of like a treehouse, like a bungalow thing on the beach, but it's like lifted, right? And there are obviously steps, but he also has like a fireman pole to come down because he's cool like that, I guess. And so he just like slides down the fireman pole like a normal person. And then Tanner gets on and just kind of gets stuck and like just slowly like comes down like an inch at a time. And first of all, that is also a physical feat.
Hard to
do that. Like that is a testament to how physically fit and strong Garrett is. But either way, it is so perfectly played, like reacted to, edited.
He like gets
everything.
off, does a little like jump and skip off, and then goes like, and then like runs and they like run away. Like, oh my God, it was perfect. Best scene.
Oh, so funny.
So good.
So good.
Val, what are your favorite quotes and moments?
Well, honestly, you said almost all of mine.
Yeah, because he's the best.
He's so funny. Let's see if I can find any ones that are different. Let's see. There's a line in one of the songs that says, if it's good, they'll make a sequel, which I thought was funny because we were in a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, I think Brady says, well, that was dramatic and potentially terrible. And then at one point, Alyssa, I think, or no, Mac, maybe to Alyssa says, make good choices. And it's just like the delivery and the way that like the familiarity of the two of them that was really sweet. As far as like additionally to the fireman pole moment, I will point out that there are a couple scenes where Brady a little bit, but mainly Tanner get to do some like real acting, like with some deep emotion. And I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like even in that cold open moment, like there's like kind of a shift where they're like kind of doing like flirty banter. And then like Brady's face kind of registers like that he's actually like nervous about school. And that's when he like brings up what we talked about in the cold open. And I was really impressed, you know, because like in the first movie, you're not really like looking for that anyway, but like it's all very intentionally like overacted and like very silly. And in this movie, there's a little bit more like normalcy, I guess. And so there's more opportunities for like acting.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good. I thought those moments were really like heartfelt and I really like was with them in them.
Good. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought all four of them were cast really well.
Yes. That was my, other than what Al already said, my favorite quotes and moments.
Perfect.
Amazing. Let's just surf right on into Spoiler City because we got to get to,
let's just do it.
We got to get to being able to talk about the ending of this movie. So let's get to that.
Yeah. And I did take a lot of notes, so we'll get there when we get there.
All right, let's do it.
All right. We open up on Brady setting up like a meet-aversary in Dolphin Cove, which is where they met 3 months ago, where he was watching Wet Side Story. And that's how they met, which led to the Best Summer Ever song that we're kind of like seeing again, even though I think it's a new version of it from the movie. They have the projector. There's like lights and towels and like he like decorated the beach. Kind of like he looked like if you were going to propose. Kind of. But like, this is just a 3-month anniversary type thing. And then they're like, let's go surfing, even though there's no surf because it's the low tide. And they're like sitting on top of their surfboards. Tomorrow's the first day of school. And they're a little nervous, you know, like we haven't done school together before. What does that look like? And she's like, oh no, I lost my necklace. And it's the necklace that Layla got her that's gone. And she's like, well, I guess it's gone forever because it's dark outside and we're on the water. So then we go to school and we see them interact with their best friends who I hate to say it. Val's been repeating their names. I never got their names. Never processed what their names were. I know now one of them is Alyssa.
Yes. And the other one is Devin.
Devin. Perfect. So we see them interact with their best friends. It's very like he's a surfer bro and she's a, you know, nerd. And they're kind of like talking with their best friends. Both best friends, one was in Indonesia and one was, at a college
camp
course.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they never, like, they didn't spend the summer together at all. And then all of them meet and they're like, oh, this is the girl you like and this is the guy you like. Okay. And then they kind of are now playing up the stereotypes of like, she's kind of, you know, a bookworm and he's a surfer guy. And so I didn't like love that. But then we have a song, When Will I See You? they have biology together. So she's like, okay, I don't have time to actually hang out with you, but at least we have third period together. And then we get Ross Butler, who walks in, and he's a little cutie. And by little, he's not little. He's like 6'4".
He's very tall.
He's very tall. And has very poofy hair in this movie.
Yes, he does.
And then you can kind of see that jealousy is happening. Brady is jealous of Ross Butler's interactions with Mac. And his friend Devin is kind of just being like the dumb kid in class, like not really paying attention. Then Mac is in charge of the dance, and her idea for the dance is the Save the Ocean dance. And she's going to, and Brady's like, you should do Wet Side Story themed. And she's like, no, that's stupid. No one will get it because no one's seen that movie. And he's like, okay, but please come with me to this college thing that we have later. And he's like, oh, okay. So then he wants to go do what he wants to do. So he goes to surf alone. And he gets back to his little bungalow and he signs on to the college thing, and it asks him like, what, he's like super discouraged by having to write what makes him extraordinary for general college application.
Which, two things. One, the computer is just a piece of cardboard. Like, it's so clear that it's not a computer screen. It's so funny.
Yeah. Like, that's where we get our meta, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. And
it's
then
so
like,
funny.
Also like him, this whole thing is like, he doesn't get why he's extraordinary. Like, he thinks he's like very much less than when it comes to Mac. And like, what I loved about their relationship in the first movie is that like they have this sort of confidence with each other, like, and this very like lived in feeling in their relationship, despite the fact that it's apparently not very like long standing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden he like has no confidence, and it's like, what happened? Like you were sure of yourself until 2 minutes ago.
That's kind of what I mean too about like the jealousy stuff, where I'm like, this wasn't how you were the first time.
I know.
I don't know.
They act like grown-ups in the first one, and then they act like children in this one. Yeah. Especially him, I think.
Stop it. Okay, so thank you, Val. We find out that he's working on this special surfboard that can surf with no waves, and then Mom shows up, and then Mom never shows up again. We then go into Wet Side Story. We go into the movie again. We're seeing the characters. We're seeing some of the same scenes that are played over and over again in the movie. And Layla's kind of having these moments of like, I don't think this is what I want to do. I'm, struggling, but Tanner is still being Tanner, and it's very funny. And she wants to go with Tanner to like do the thing. And he's like, no, girls can't do that. She's like, yeah. But then you can see the ocean is calling to her. And then
Very
we go back to
Moana.
school. And Mac is really sad because Brady lost track of time and he didn't make it in time. And she met with the college program people, and Ross Butler was there. And then he finally shows up and he's like crying in the rain. And then she's sad in the rain, and then everyone's rain. And I write, they're falling apart. Oh my gosh. They break up. Sad song. So then we go back into the movie. And Layla is like, I can't be acting in this story anymore. I don't want to do this. Ever since they visited, I feel different. Something is different. And then as she's talking about this on the beach, the necklace that Mac lost shows up in the water. And she's like, I'm taking this necklace and I'm going to go find Mac because I want to live a life like her. So they escape out of the ocean, which is only the two of them. So Tanner and Layla, which is unlike the ending of the first one where we got the snippet where they all show up on the beach at the same time. Which I didn't love, but that's fine. Yeah. Just don't put that in there if you're not going to honor it. I don't know.
Right.
They see extreme sports. They see how a phone works. We didn't get the Justin Bieber moment, but we did get Tanner looking at his small self. And I do have to say, throughout the movie, too, he did use his high voice and his low voice again. Yes. Which was so good. That's such a good bit. So then Mac and Brady are like fighting on the beach. This is my spot. This is my spot. And then they see Layla and Tanner walk up and they're like, oh, no. And we hear the song Right Where I Want to Be. And it's them experiencing the new world that they haven't been in before because they came from the movie world. and they're staying dry. So they like have this scene where they run through the shower, which is clearly CGI, but it's so cute. And then Mac and Brady are trying to figure out how to get them back home. They're like, we just got to get them back in the movie because we know from our experience that if they don't get back, like bad things can happen. But they're like, let's just bring them to school for now. We'll figure this out. So every time she tries to get Layla in a new outfit, she's like hands her a pink dress and it's modern. And then she comes back out and it's a 1960s. So still very movie magic. And then we go back to the movie and everyone doesn't know what to do without their leads in the movie. They feel stagnant. They are like, let's just try to get back to it. And there's a different version of Falling for You. Chi-Chi and Jordan Fisher have like their moment, which you kind of think they might get together. And then that never comes back. But then someone from the movie disappears, but no one sees it except for the audience.
Dramatic irony.
Yes.
Is what that is called. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Val. That's why we keep you around.
Thank you.
Brady and Mac tell Tanner and Layla to lay low, but they're absolutely incapable of doing that because they're in a new world and people are impressed by Tanner as he's walking down the hallway at school. We get an I Want to Be With You song and he fits in with Brady's best friend. They like, he automatically kind of like assimilates to him and he's like, hey, man, we could be Nectar, things like that. And then Layla, of course, is obsessed with Ross Butler, even though that never really does anything. But she's just like, you are so cute. And we're at this point still thinking that Ross is interested in Mac for the storyline. But we find out later he's not. And she introduces her as her cousin. But then when her best friend comes up, Alyssa introduces her as Layla and they become friends. And she's like, oh, I drive a scooter. And she goes, I know how to fix a scooter. So they like run off and Mac is like, what the heck? Thought that was going to be a bigger issue too, where she introduced her as two different people. Never comes back. Then we have our lunch table scene a la Mean Girls, a la High School Musical. They are experiencing the mean people. They are experiencing all of the different cliques in the song Twist Your Frown Upside Down.
I thought that this was a very fun subversion of that because I was like, oh, cool. The same thing again, right? They're going to get bullied by the cool kids and whatever. And instead they like completely
don't care.
it, which was so funny. Yeah. Like they have a sidebar where like Tanner's like, my feelings are hurt. These people are mean. But then he's like, they just need to smile. It just like completely breaks everything, which is so funny. It's so good.
And then we get back to the movie and they're really confused on what to do. And they are starting to see people disappear. So they are realizing we have to do something. Tanner and Brady have a heart-to-heart about the feeling of worry. And Brady shows Tanner his inventions in his treehouse of the surfboards. And that's where we get our fireman pole scene, which is very good. And then we cut to Layla and Mac also having a heart-to-heart about having a partner who makes your life better, not like changing yourself for them, but someone who enhances you. We then see Layla losing her sense of style. So she like put a flannel on and it stayed a flannel. And then Tanner gets wet, which was very funny when he got wet for the first time. And they tell them, finally, you are characters from a movie. You are not real. We have to get you back to your world. And they do the song Life on the Silver Screen.
And I just want to point out there's a quick in that song, there's a quick Singing in the Rain reference, which is sweet because Debbie Reynolds was in Singing in the Rain. Debbie Reynolds plays Grandma Aggie in Halloween Town. So I just,
yes, very sweet. Cool. Yes, I did like that set of song. Layla then says, no, I don't want to live that life anymore. I want to stay here, and throws the necklace into the ocean. 84 years.
I was just going to say it was very Titanic. I even wrote that in my notes.
Then the movie crew in the movie finds the necklace and they're like, this is the sign. This is our sign because this is what Layla did when she saw the sign. They took the necklace, went back to go get them back to the movie before more people start disappearing. And then Mac and Brady have a big blow up fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie crew shows up and they're like, okay, we're going to go back, but we have to do the dance first. They're like, okay, well, okay. Like, no. We will go back. We're just doing some shit first.
There were a couple times where I was like, where is the sense of urgency?
Yeah. So then we have the Save the Beach dance where people ended up showing up. Mac was so nervous for some reason that no one would show up, which stupid. And then we have a song from Sabrina Carpenter called Rescue Me, which was fun. And then Ross Butler ends up dancing with Alyssa and they end up being the couple. So Brady was jealous for no reason because he didn't actually like Mac. He was just her friend trying to help her to get to college.
Right.
So then the crew comes back. So then they can get them back together. And they're like, you guys have to make up. We can't do this if you're not. And then they have their like West Side Story Rumble, but by gender.
Right.
And then Brady sings on the stage, Gotta Be Me. He's like, oh, I know how to show her that I still like her. And he sings. And then...
About himself.
And then Butchie, Layla's brother, disappears. And he's the one who had the necklace. So the necklace is gone. What are we going to do? Maybe if we had left with urgency 2 hours ago, this wouldn't have happened. So Brady is like, I know what to do. How did we get there the first time? And it was the surfboard. So they go to his bungalow to take the emblem off of the surfboard,
the magic
surfboard, and put it on one of his crazy cool surfboards he was putting together to make waves because it is nighttime and there are no waves at nighttime that you can surf. And he brings Mac into his warehouse of a bungalow and was like, oh, I didn't want to tell you that I'm actually really smart. And she's like, okay, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm sorry. And they're like, we're sorry. And then they get the decal off. They put it on the surfboard. And before they send Layla and Tanner back, Mac is like, I'm worried that if they disappear, won't we have never met? Because then we would have never met in Dolphin Cove because you were watching West Side Story. And then we get a reprise of Meant to Be.
I really liked that.
Yeah, me too. And the surfboard won't work.
It's a motorized surfboard.
It's motorized surfboard won't work. So Brady has to go fix it. And I also wrote, where is everyone else? Where are their friends? How did their friends get back? That was really confusing.
Their friends disappeared.
They all disappeared?
They all disappeared. Okay. Yeah. There was a moment like right outside of the dance, I think, when they just all vanished.
Okay.
Except for
that. Thank you. Because I
Layla.
absolutely missed that. I was like,
yeah.
where?
Chi-Chi says something funny because she's like the last one to disappear. I forget what she says, but she's like, hope you guys figure it out.
Oh.
And she like vanishes. It's really funny.
That's funny. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So then they get the surfboard to work and then he comes back.
Wait, they get the surfboard to work, so he can't get the thing to start. And
right.
He's like, I need my tools. And then Layla does a callback to the first movie where she takes a bobby pin out of her hair and gives it to him. And he uses that to get the motor running.
And then it works. But then he comes back to the beach and he sees Mac. And he doesn't know who she is. And he sees his friend, Devin. And he's like, hey, I'm a surfer bro again, blah, blah, blah. Which means something happened and they have never met.
And you think that it's because Tanner vanished. Because he's like in the process of vanishing as they're getting the motor running.
Yeah.
So that's what you think. But
it's not.
Right. Because before they left, Mac says to Layla, rewrite the story. Like, you don't have to live in this reality if you don't want to. Like, write your own script. So that's important. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Then he goes to the Save the Beach dance, which is still happening, but it is completely different than the gym before. And now it's by the beach, and it is based on the 1962 beach movie, Layla, the Queen of the Beach. Which means Layla got back to the movie and made the story her own instead of it being about the two of them falling in love, a la West Side Story. So now it's about her. And this is also a callback to Brady's original idea of like, why don't you have the theme be West Side Story? And Mac was like, no one knows what that movie is. That would be stupid. And now here she is doing Layla Queen of the Beach. So he goes to check into the Save the Beach dance. She's the one checking people in. They have bikers and beach people all dressed up together. It looks like they're in the movie of the 60s, even though it's modern day. It looks great.
Yeah.
And they like meet as he's like getting a wristband put on his wrist. And they start like flirty flirt. And then her best friend and Ross Butler are still together. And then we see the new movie play in the background, like we did in the beginning of the movie, where they kind of like danced and sang along with the projection of West Side Story in the background. They all dance and sing along with the projection of Layla Queen of the Beach in the background. And then they like fall in love again, have this big dance on the beach, all of this stuff. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And I
really wish that I get it, but I because the moral is like, we're going to find each other in every universe. But I also don't like that they got rid of everything we were working towards.
Well, first of all, there's a part of this that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason why Layla is still there and didn't go to this prep school is because of their experience in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if that had never happened, then theoretically Layla shouldn't even be there at all. Or I'm sorry, not Layla. Mac should not be there at all. She should be in like wherever it was, Boston or whatever. So that is a plot hole in my opinion. Like that doesn't make any sense. But also it's just, it makes me sad. Like obviously we're supposed to sort of rejoice for Layla, right? Layla got to write her own story. She doesn't have to be trapped in this sort of misogynistic world where her whole purpose is just to fall in love with Tanner. And that's great. But the leads of this movie are Mac and Brady. And it makes me really, really sad because I really liked their relationship, right? Like they had this very like lived in, lovely relationship. And it just makes me sad that
we lost
that was gone. Like that whole entire thing was gone. And like, obviously we're supposed to think like, oh, you know, they'll get there again. Right. And they probably will. But all of the character growth, all of the like stuff that we saw in both of these movies is just gone. Yeah. Like all of it. And that is to me very, very sad. Like it just made me sad at the end of this movie. And like, obviously you're supposed to just enjoy the end of this movie and like be happy that they found each other again and that Layla and Tanner get to be happy in their own way too. But yeah, it bummed me out a little bit at the end of this movie.
I agree.
Also, in the last song / like into the sort of not blooper reel, but like into the credits where they're still kind of singing and doing stuff. One thing, Tanner at one point basically says his job is beach, which I thought was so funny. Yeah, that's 10. Like a whole thing in Barbie.
That's funny.
In the Barbie movie. And I was like, they stole this from Tanner. And then also there's like a whole bit when Layla and Tanner are in the real world where they like discover segways and they're like really into these segways. And then at one point when they're back in the movie, Tanner is like pushing like a wood, like a unicycle with handlebars that's supposed to look like a Segway.
He literally invented the Segway.
It's so funny. Like it's so silly and funny. And there were just like a lot of fun things like that throughout the entire thing. Like there's a bunch of bits with Chi-Chi's hair that are so funny. Like where she like loses her balance or like whatever, you know, because her hair is so big. So there's just like a lot of fun stuff to like keep an eye out for in this movie. But those were two at the end.
They had a lot of callbacks too. Even the girl from like, I can't stop shaking him, see like she comes back and that's why they miss the first person disappearing because she can't stop shaking again.
I know. Also, I just wanted to say, C-Cat, Jordan Fisher's character, was his outfit in any way 1960s? Because I just didn't see it. Like, he was wearing like a bucket hat and like a zip up. And I was like, this in no way says 60s to me. Like, maybe I missed something, but like, it just looked like 90s to me. Like, It was, I don't know. So that was kind of strange.
Was he wearing the bucket hat in the first one?
I can't remember. Maybe. But he definitely was in this one. And I just remember looking at him going, that seems not right.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, was it inspired by like a Ross Lynch or something? You know, like he didn't have a bucket hat in the first one and like Ross wore a bucket hat. So he wore, you know, like, I don't know. Or they just like fully wardrobe got it wrong, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't look completely in the right time period for me. Yeah. Cool. Oh, actually, one other quick thing. So there's like a moment where I literally wrote, Tanner is going to become an incel.
Oh, no.
Because no. And then I was really thankful that that's not the direction, obviously, that they took. Like there's absolutely an opportunity here where Tanner gets like really frustrated because Layla, who his entire existence is supposed to be about falling in love with him and like
doesn't know how to exist without it.
Right. And she doesn't care. And she wants to pursue all these other things and, you know, whatever. And he's feeling forgotten and whatever. And I was like, oh, no. But then instead, he like goes and talks to Brady. And that's actually when they have this like really beautiful conversation where he's actually very emotional. And he's like, I don't think I'm enough for her, which like that is such a correct interpretation of that situation.
Yep. Loved that.
Like the problem is not that Layla likes math a lot.
Right.
It's that you bring nothing to the table to make math less interesting than you.
Exactly. Hands down.
Anyway, I just thought that was like a really, really smart and nice way of approaching that situation that could have gone in a very different direction.
Yes.
Okay. I am now done.
Okay.
Al, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we go to bingo?
The only thing is, I mean, it's going to be talked about in bingo, but in the first one, we talked about how there wasn't a kiss and we thought that there was supposed to be. And then I had talked about how there was a kiss in this one, but I didn't see it.
There wasn't.
So did they cut it?
Well, so actually I read in the fun facts that there was a kiss in the first movie that got cut out of the first movie. But I don't think there was a moment for a kiss in this movie because they didn't, you know, there wasn't like at the end, they didn't know each other anymore. So like there wasn't like an appropriate time for a kiss, right? But yeah, it says in Teen Beach Movie, Maya Mitchell and Ross Lynch kissed, even though it wasn't in the script, but the kiss did not make the final cut.
Oh, I thought it was in 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's in the fun facts for 2, but it specifically mentions the first one, which is weird.
Cool.
But, yeah. So, and I think that they were right. Like, I think it's strange that they cut it out because it is so bizarre at the end of the first movie. We talked about it already, but it's just, it doesn't feel right that they're not kissing in that moment. But I don't think there was really like a moment in this movie.
No, because even at the very end where they like touch foreheads, it's like you guys just met 7.5 minutes ago.
Exactly. That's about as appropriate as it's going to get for that moment.
All right, Val. Well, I'm feeling like we should do some bingo.
Let's do some bingo. I'm going to start today because I feel like you started the last couple times. Okay. Let's go bingo. One hit wonder song. I just left the soundtrack page. 1 second.
Is R5 a one hit wonder?
I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Let's say yes.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
We haven't been marking that box in a while. Sorry, R5. Breaking the fourth wall or looking into the camera. There's a lot.
Yes. Hello, small me. Holiday themed. No.
Clunky metaphor.
Oh, I've got one.
Okay,
I've got
ready,
one.
Val. Let's hear it.
It's the waves, the surf. Okay, are a metaphor for like how easy or not your relationship is, right? Like your relationship is not something that you just experience. It is something that you sometimes have to make happen or make an effort at. So like in the first movie, there's just always like really big surf. But in the second movie, there's a lot of, oh, there's no waves tonight. There's no waves today. There's no waves, whatever. And that is sort of like a symbolic of them, like their relationship not like working as well because like they're not putting in any effort into like making it work.
Okay.
And then when they actually like succeed is when the motorized surfboard comes into play because they're making their own surf. And that is how you do it.
There it is.
Okay. Parents who just don't get it. I mean, there's barely parents in this movie. So
which leads to cool non-parent adult. And there are no adults in this one.
There are no adults in this movie.
Not a single adult was seen.
Mm-mm. Someone too famous for a TV movie.
No, not at this point.
No.
Competition to resolve central problem. No.
No. A montage sequence. Yup.
Cliche villains.
No.
There weren't really villains in this story.
No. They're their own worst enemies in this movie. Mm-hmm.
Wow, we haven't not marked that one in a while.
I know. And what's really interesting is like we're not marking a lot of our usual squares. But this movie, to me, is very emblematic of DCOMs, but it doesn't have a lot of the cliches, which I think is kind of cool, like a testament to a job well done, that they were able to still get the DCOM feel, but not necessarily be as cliche.
Absolutely.
Clothes or items you owned.
I think last time, I said I did have a high-waisted swimsuit.
Oh, yes. Okay. And so do I.
So
yes,
we're marking it.
That's a fair point. I definitely have a lot of flannels.
Yeah.
Which
Val is
Layla wears for
improviser, so.
And I've worn
I've worn them. You've worn them, Val?
I've worn a flannel in the way that Layla wears it, like with a shorts and like a white shirt underneath with it open. Like I've worn that almost that exact.
Yeah, I think I like almost wore that to the One Direction concert in like 2013.
Nice.
Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go right at the top of our range and say 60.
Incorrect, Val, but we do get the point. It's 50.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Fair. Glad I didn't go with the Al is usually right.
Yeah, not today
on this one. Happily ever after. Yes. Despite not remembering each other. Yes.
Almost kissing.
I guess you could count the forehead touch.
I mean,
maybe,
they got
but
real
like
close. I was waiting for it because I was like, this is the kiss. But I'm gonna count it. They were close.
Okay. Great. Someone who became famous. Many.
All of the cast. Yeah. Betraying of one's real friends or values. I think Matt gets tough. A little mean.
Because, well, see, I was going to say Ross or Brady because
he gets jealous.
Yeah, because he gets jealous and he lies to Mac and like none of it makes any sense. Like it's not in line to me with his character and it's just kind of weird. And in a way, I was going to say also like Layla does in a way betray her friends, but as soon as I don't know that counts because as soon as she realizes the implications that it's going to have on her friends, she's like, whatever, I'll suffer forever to make sure that my friends don't die. So maybe not that. But I think Ross or why do I keep saying Ross? Brady potentially counts. Great. Yeah.
Cool.
Narrator.
No. But if it was your adult crush box, Val, I would be marking that for Ross Butler. Okay? Shout out to Ross Butler. Obviously, bad special effects or stunts.
I don't honestly think so. Like
there weren't a ton, but and we don't have to mark it because of this. I'm just sharing what I didn't like, which was there were two lighting things I didn't enjoy, which was whenever they were on the water. And they were trying to have the moon reflect on the water. It was giving a little strobe where I'm like, that's not how they would look, one. And then two, in the dance, this also is not a special effect or a stunt. This is more on the lighting. In the first dance where it's blue in the gym, Layla and Tanner have really good lighting on them. But Ross, Lynch, Brady is completely blue. And I was like, why didn't you give them good lighting, but you didn't give him good lighting? And that really bothered me.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh, that's strange.
The only really bad effect that we really saw would be when they were not getting wet in the water, like the CGI water in the shower. But
yeah, and that's fine. And then also the computer screen that's cardboard.
Clearly a piece of paper taped onto another thicker piece of paper.
So funny. Yeah, I think we can count it for those things. But I think that like most of this sort of like what I would call like obviously bad things were in the music numbers, and they were intentionally
the
meant
meta
to look like that. Right. So those are the only ones that were like not in those moments. Disney Channel star. So many.
Musical number. Yay!
Yes! So many. And magic!
Yay! And they were in biology class, and we also had science as the real magic.
We did. So many magic.
Someone says the title of the movie.
Nope. Scooby Dude. I guess kind of.
They like figured it out on their own. There wasn't any adults to fix it, so they had to fix it.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
We can count it.
The heroes create the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to a movie universe.
Yeah.
So that kind of caused everything else that followed.
Yes.
Lead is a fish out of water. Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah, because we have the exact same thing as the last time, but in reverse.
Yes. Well, Val, I think we get these two a lot, which makes sense. But we did have 2 bingos today. We have our middle line down, close our items you owned, Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60, happily ever after, almost kissing someone who became famous. And then we have our G line, which is clunky metaphor, montage sequence, almost kissing Disney Channel star, and the heroes create the problem.
Sweet.
We did have a
2
couple,
for a number 2.
What?
2 for a number 2.
2 for number 2. 2 for 2 on Tuesday. Because this will be airing on Tuesday. It is not currently Tuesday for us. As we said, it is Easter Sunday currently. But we did have a couple that if we had gotten, we would have had more. If we had someone said the title of the movie, if we had narrator or someone too famous for a TV movie, parent adult. So there were a couple where if we had gotten like one more, we would have gotten a couple more lines. Obviously, that's how bingo works. Al, you stupid.
You're not stupid.
No, thanks, Al.
I hope you guys figure it out.
I'm so sad I missed that, but I don't care enough to go back and look at it,
Yeah.
Although I do think I would watch the first one again. I did really like the first one. I think the music
I would
is
watch
fantastic.
both of them again. Yeah, I think the first one is really fun because like them being in the movie universe is just so meta and they have so much fun with that. This one I like because all the movie characters have a lot more to do in this second one. So like there are different things that I like about each of them, and I would watch both of them again.
Wow. All right, Val. Well, as you know, I'm tired. I'm tired today. I'm tired this year, and I've created so many games that we're still playing a game today, but it's
okay.
It's not my best.
Okay.
It's not my best. The creative juices were not flowing for Teen Beach 2.
Okay.
So today's game is called They Danced on a Car. Where else did they dance on a car? In the final scene, they dance in the bed of pickup trucks.
And it was a good dance.
It was a good dance. The Ross was kind of tap dancing there. And so I'm going to give you clues to 5 other movies where they danced on or by a car.
Okay. Got it. Yep.
All right. Number 1. This movie almost won an Academy Award.
That's it? That's
no.
the whole clue?
I just was going to see if you like maybe knew from that little comment. Because after you find out what it is, you're going to be like, okay, I know why you said that first.
Okay.
And the actress won an Academy Award for it. It is set in California. It is a musical. It is, I believe, 2016.
Oh. It's La La Land.
Yeah. See, now you know why I said that first. It almost won. Okay. This movie, they're all musicals, Val. So that shouldn't. Well, actually, the last one's not a musical, but it still has music and dance in it. This movie, also set in a high school. Okay. Cast some people who look like they weren't in high school.
Grease.
Yeah. All right, Val. This next movie is not a DCOM, but connected to DCOMs. And we have been talking about potentially recording it on our podcast.
Oh, High School Musical 3.
Yeah. Have you seen it before, Val?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, we haven't done High School Musical 3 that came out a couple years before this. Like, we're past when it would have released because it released in
it was
theaters.
2008. Yeah.
It released in theaters. So
yes, because it's not technically
a DCOM.
A DCOM.
Right. It is D, but no com.
It's just a D.
It's just a DOM.
Not even.
This is
I guess
DM.
DM. Yeah, it's a DOM. You're right. It's a DOM.
Yeah, it's a DOM. There's no C. Okay. This movie is a remake of a classic where there is an evil parent who is trying to get the high school kids to not do this activity in town.
Oh, no, not Dirty Dancing.
You're right there.
God. I know. We did.
Did you do it in high school?
We did this. Yes.
No. I'm not giving you any more clues because I know you know it.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes. It's Kevin Bacon, the musical. What's it called, Val?
I'm literally having every single movie title except for the correct one rush through my head right now. Like, I've got like Flashdance.
Yep, you're right there. That's exactly the era, except for this one's the remake. But
oh my,
this is Val. I'm gonna be honest. This is embarrassing for you.
I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed.
This is
right
embarrassing
now.
for you.
I
You did this
cannot.
musical in high school.
I mean, I wasn't in it, but Beth was. I've seen this musical.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that I can't think of.
All
the
right,
name
you're
of this
gonna be
movie.
mad.
All right, just do it.
Loose, foot loose.
Oh,
Kick up the Sunday shoes. Well, my favorite bits is saying feet, loose feet. All of our feet are loose.
God dang it.
All right, there's one more, Val. Okay, like I said, not a musical, but it is music and dance.
Is it Billy Elliot?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it to know if they dance by a car.
Oh, they do, and I love Billy Elliot.
Well, the next one after this is Billy Elliot. In this movie, these two actors ended up falling in love and getting married, now divorced. And it is... Oh.
Step Up?
Yes! Val, that's amazing.
Makes up a little bit for the last.
Yes, again, not thinking of Footloose. Loose feet. Okay. And Val, the last one is the one you just guessed.
Billy Elliot.
Yeah, good job. Congratulations. Thanks for playing.
Yay!
Where else did they dance on or by a car? I don't know if the games are going to get better or worse. So
I believe that they will remain great.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right. Val, tell me, what are we watching next?
We're finally here. We're watching Descendants. I can't believe it.
So excited.
I can't believe it. I've never seen them. I'm very excited.
I really love the Descendants movies. I can't wait to see what you think of the Descendants movies.
Yeah, me too. And like, there's like a whole Descendants verse, which like, honestly, I love a universe.
Yeah.
You know, so super into that.
Descendants verse.
So let's do it. Let's take our dive
excited.
into the Descendants verse.
I have a fun time watching those. So
great.
It's gonna be good.
That's great.
And
great
it's
news.
been fun to like get back into this new era of DCOMs where we have our resident Gen Z, Jillian, who is listening to all of our episodes now, which is fun because then she texts me through them. And it's fun because these are the ones that like this generation grew up with. So if you're a millennial or a Gen X, I don't know. Well, I don't know how many Gen Xers we got, but thanks for being here. Thanks for continuing to listen to us, even though maybe you haven't seen some of these movies.
Yeah, for sure. I hope that if we are the only way you're experiencing these movies, that you are enjoying that experience.
And you're
even when we maybe don't like
with us.
Yeah, live, laugh, loving.
Yes, we're laughing. All right, Val, I love you.
Feet, loose feet.
Feet, loose feet. All of our feet are loose.
I love you so much.
I love
you
so
and your loose feet.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna go put them in the bathtub. Bye, Val.
Bye, Elle. This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.